With us on Bill O'Reilly in a Weekdays with Bernie segment tonight, you may remember this soundbite from last week.
With this endless parade of distractions and political posturing and phony scandals, Washington's taken its eye off the ball. And I'm here to say this needs to stop.
Joining us now from North Carolina to react, the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. So why would anyone think the president would not say that, Bernie? Of course he's going to say that.
I totally agree. Anybody with a pulse knows what this is about. This is a president who refuses to take responsibility for the crummy economic recovery, for the chronically high unemployment during his entire presidency. And because he won't take a responsibility for this, 5 years in, he can't blame George Bush anymore. That dog won't hunt. So now he's figured out that it's Republicans who have concocted phony scandals that he's blaming. We all understand why he's doing it. What needs to be done, if I could just indulge in wishful thinking for 30 seconds, what needs to be done is that the next time journalists have access to the president, they need to say, what phony scandals are you talking about, Mr. President? Are you talking about Fast and Furious, where a border agent was killed because a federal program got screwed up? Are you talking about Benghazi, where 4 Americans were slaughtered, and almost a year later we still don't know what went on? Are you talking about the IRS scandal? Because, Mr. President, in May you said that was outrageous. 2.5 months later, it's a phony scandal. Are you talking about going after journalists at the Associated Press and Fox News? Were they phony scandals? The press has to treat this president the way they would treat Ronald Reagan or George W. Bush, and they would never tolerate phony scandals as an excuse for failure.
What are the odds the national media will begin treating President Obama?
Zero.
They're zero. They're never going to do it because
that's why I said it's wishful thinking.
Right. They have emotion invested in his success.
Exactly. Absolutely true.
That's what it is. All right.
Can I give you a specific example of why it won't happen? A very specific example.
Sure.
The media research, our friends over at the Media Research Center, did a study on how much time the networks devoted to the royal baby in just 1 week. ABC News and NBC News in just 1 week devoted more than twice as much time to the royal baby as they did to the entire IRS scandal, and that started 2.5 months ago in May. More than twice as much time in 1 week than they did to the IRS scandal in 2.5 months. CBS News was the only one that devoted more time to the scandal than the royal baby.
Well,
that's how he gets away with this.
There's a solution to that, though. If the royal family is audited, they're in Britain, so
that's right.
They can tie them in. I got to ask you this question because we promoted it all weekend. Do you think the day of the race hustler is over? Do you think that the positive thing will come out of all of this controversy and that their credibility will be so destroyed, they'll be so marginalized that never again will they be able to, mount a campaign that maligns the country?
I'm not as hopeful as you are. It's clear that when the subject is race, not all but many black people and not all but many white people see the same thing through a different prism. These things are influenced by our own experiences. And I think there are an awful lot of people, both African Americans and white liberals, who listen to Al Sharpton and say, yeah, he's making a lot of sense, and listen to you and say, you're not. Now, I will say that I think you're making sense and he's not, and I think if the lower classes, economic classes of black America followed your prescription, they'd do a lot better than following the civil rights establishment's prescription. But I'm not at all convinced that Sharpton and the other so-called leaders of black America are going anyplace anytime soon.
I don't think they're going anywhere, but I think that their influence is on the wane. I really do. Because there's so much trouble in places like the South Side of Chicago. There's so much pain there.
But it's also on the wane for a very good and upbeat reason. They have succeeded We're not in 1960 or 55 anymore. The progress has been so great that there's less for them to do than there was for Martin Luther King to do.
Would never acknowledge that, see, and I'm hoping that
That's right.
damages their credibility. All right,
That's
Bernie.
right.